Okay, just a word on how to overcome what I call the chasm of doom. And that is the time from offer acceptance all the way through to taking references, criminal record checks, and all of the hassle and bureaucracy that you need to overcome and process before that person can actually start training with you. And it's a huge area of frustration. Let's take references first of all. It's such a nightmare to get references from past employers. I think you often get no comment at all, or I can confirm that they simply worked these dates. So I would recommend, where you can, phoning the past employer and hopefully avoid HR. Try and speak to their line manager or their supervisor from before. And in many cases now, people are too frightened to say anything which is really useful to you, like under no circumstances hire them. But one question you can ask, which seems to get a good response, is would you rehire this person? And they often see that as a question that's more to do with the company than them expressing a personal opinion for which they might suffer later. So do try that if you can. And if they're willing to talk, of course, great, but often that is the only question you might get success with. And for police checks, and in many countries, there's an expectation or a requirement that we need to take out police checks on the criminal records of applicants. And there's really very little we can do to improve the time it takes. There are slight differences with some of the software providers that help you process these online. But broadly speaking, you're down to the local police jurisdiction and how long they take to process it. So really all you can do is keep the candidate informed of what is happening. And if you can ask them other things about the application process and more information from them, have a dialogue, keep them engaged, maybe give them some pre-training work to do. Try and keep them connected to the company for as long as you can. You'll find there's less pressure with passive candidates that you've found in the community, because often they're not under that pressure that you find active job seekers are, who are desperate to get their earnings back as quickly as possible. And therefore, any time that they're not working means then they're more likely to quit and get another job where they don't have to undergo all of this rigorous pre-screening and checks, employment checks before starting. So the more you improve the quality of the sources you use, and the more you activate and target passive candidates, then the less you will see people dropping out because of this lengthy process that we have not much control over.